Good morning, everybody. You're very welcome back to LeedsBros. Happy Thursday morning. Hope we're all keeping and doing well. And Christmas is coming fast, guys. I only realised today how close Christmas is away. And I'm one of them. I'm like last minute shopping for Christmas. I don't know about you guys, but I'm one of them men that I'm out in the shops on Christmas Eve, picking up the last few bits, picking up a candle for your mom and a packet of socks for the brother Dylan and stuff like that. But let us know if you're all ready for the Christmas period, because it's fast approaching. I'm going to get some Christmas decorations up around here, make it a little bit more festive going into the Christmas period and all that. But we have a little bit to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about Leeds United topping the chart of an unwanted chart. We're also going to talk about Chris Sutton banishing a Leeds United striker as not good enough. And then that got me thinking a little bit, because you guys know how much my brain goes off on little tangents when it comes to Leeds United. I had a little bit of a look into Leeds United strikers and how they compare to multi-million-pound Premier League strikers so far this season. And I think we're going to be quietly impressed when we have a look into it. So let's get into it. So first up, an unwanted chart for Leeds United. We do top the numbers for most Premier League injuries so far this season with 28. Arsenal just behind on 26 and Aston Villa as well. And I think we probably all felt this as a fan base without actually knowing the numbers behind it. So when I seen this yesterday on social media, I was like, yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. And it seems to be like a reoccurring theme with Leeds United. Even under Marcelo Bielsa, we always had the most injuries as well. And we're still having it in the Premier League. When you look back right to the start of this season, we have had a lot of injuries. When you go back to Lucas Perry, brought in £70 million, got the quad injury. Who else we got injured? We had Sebastian Borneo. He's been out for a bit. Willie Nonto, Dan James, Sean Longstaff. We have Mecha now with a couple of his injury woes. Anton Stack has been carrying injury woes. It seems like every player in the Leeds United squad has all been carrying a few knocks and a few bangs. And this is a little bit of a worry. And when you look at where Leeds United are and what we're up against this season in a relegation battle, this isn't great when you have players out like this that are injured. Now, hopefully Daniel Farke, I think this probably leads into Daniel Farke probably consistently playing with the same players that are underperforming and flogging them every single week. Now that we've seen this formation change and flexibility change from Daniel Farke, I'm hoping that we see rotation in the squad a little bit more. So hopefully as the season goes on, we're only halfway through the season, a little less than halfway, that we see that number coming down a little bit and we don't get as many injuries going into the new year, because it's been really, really hurting Leeds United, hasn't it? The amount of injuries so far this season. We've never really, I think there was one game going down to, was it Burnley? That was the first time this season that we've had a full strength squad. And it always seems like with Leeds United, we never really have everybody available. So thought this was an interesting one, bringing it to your guys' attention. But yeah, I think it probably just makes sense, doesn't it? The feeling that Leeds United are picking up a lot of injuries this season, and maybe something for our medical team to look at a little bit is that why we top on this very unwanted chart. So we'll keep an eye on it as the season does progress. But I want to move on and I want to talk about Chris Sutton, who has banished Lucas Mecha as not good enough. And when I seen this, he spoke about this on BBC on Monday night. And when I seen it at the time, I was like, I don't really know what Chris Sutton is getting at here. And he's always one of them that he's an outspoken pundit. We know what Chris Sutton, he's always like this. But this is what he went on to say, just so you can kind of see it visually in front of you. So often outspoken in his analysis, Sutton proved that he rarely watches Leeds in his verdict on Meche. The former Premier League winner speaking on BBC Radio Monday night earlier this week. This is what he said. The problem Leeds have when Meche plays as a central striker is that he will run in behind. He doesn't offer up. He's not good enough in his hold-up play and his link-up play, Chris Sutton said about Meche. And I categorically disagree with this, because I think Lucas Meche has been really good for Leeds United this season. Given that we've brought him in on a free, is he being absolutely outstanding and a world beater? No. But I think Lucas Meche has been effective. And I think when you see that against Liverpool, especially on the weekend, that we were missing him up front there with Calvert-Lewin. And I really like Lucas Meche. I think he's came in, he works hard. Can he do the hold-up play the same as Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Absolutely not, because Calvert-Lewin has bags of Premier League experience. Lucas Meche doesn't. But I do think he's effective, and he's been scoring goals for Leeds United this season. I've seen his goal against Nottingham Forest. He can put the ball in the back of the net. So I think for me, this just proves with Chris Sutton that he doesn't watch Leeds United enough. Absolutely doesn't. So I really like Lucas Meche. I think he's a player that could be vital for Leeds United this season, particularly up front in that 3-5-2, now alongside Calvert-Lewin. The issue obviously is with our two strikers here at Leeds United is that we know their injury record and we know they're injury prone. And we've seen that ahead of Liverpool, that Meche was struggling with a calf injury, Calvert-Lewin with a hamstring injury. And luckily enough, we had Calvert-Lewin available. And I think if we can get both of them 90% fit for the rest of this season, I do think both of them are really effective. Now, Metch's goals this year, both of them will come from a missed penalty against City, and then a tap in. The goal against Aston Villa, he got a little bit lucky. And then his finish against Nottingham Forest shows that he can't put the ball in the back of the net. So as I said, this got my brain going a little bit, and I was looking into thinking, how do Leeds United's two strikers match up against the so-called Premier League top strikers, the superstars that have been brought in for big money? And I've had a look. So let's have a little bit of a look at this. So we obviously brought in Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Lucas Mecha on a free this summer for Leeds United. Both strikers have 4 Premier League goals so far. So 8 goals between them this season for me is not too bad at all. Only 15 games gone. So if they could double that, maybe get a little bit more here or there, you can see both of the Leeds United strikers ended on 10 goals each this season. And that's a really good feat for 2 free strikers coming in. Now, you pip that up against the likes of the other Premier League strikers that have been brought in for big money. Look at Alexander Isak, brought in from Liverpool for 125, 130 million pounds. Only 1 Premier League goal so far this season. You look at Victor Gyökeres, brought in for Arsenal for 60 million pounds. He's the exact same amount of goals, 4 goals, and he's meant to be an absolute world beater. You look at Mohamed Salah, right, he's not playing much for Liverpool, 4 goals for them. Joe Pedro for Chelsea, 4 goals as well. So I think Chris Sutton is probably missing the point here a little bit in regards to Leeds United, that we are a newly promoted club coming into this division, and we need players that are effective in the Premier League. We don't need world beaters. Now, is Calvert-Lewin and Lucas Mecha going to be the striker for Leeds United for the next 5 years? Probably not. But where Leeds United are at a club at the minute, I actually really think the two of them are doing fantastically well with 4 goals between them. And I don't care how they go in. I really don't. Like, some of them have obviously been tap-ins. Calvert-Lewin's one against Chelsea, his penalty against Liverpool. I really don't care how our 2 strikers put the ball in the back of the net for Leeds United, as long as they do. So if it comes towards the end of the season and both of them have 10 goals each and they're both tap-ins and a couple of them penalties, I'll take that. I'll take that over Alexander Isak only scoring 1 goal and costing Leeds United 130, 135 million pounds. So we know this with Chris Sutton, and we know this with some of these pundits that they don't really watch Leeds United enough to know exactly what's going on at the football club. But it just shows you more expensive doesn't necessarily mean better. And the prime example is on the weekend against Liverpool, Florian Wirtz, 115, 116 million pounds for Liverpool. Against El Tanaka, 3 million pounds for Leeds United, and he was a better player on the pitch. So, yeah, some of these pundits just haven't got a clue about Leeds United. Little bit of a rant from me this morning, but I hate when pundits come out like this and just talk nonsense about Leeds United when they don't really know what's going on at the football club. It's like, do your research first, have a look where Leeds United are at, have a look at the numbers behind it. Then maybe you can speak about Leeds United. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to know, what have you guys thought of Lucas Mecha and Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Because I really like the both of them, and I really like the both of them in this system. And I do think both of them can play, even if one is injured. I do think you could put Okafor up there with them. I do think you could put Joe Pirro up there with them. And I do think now that both of these have become a vital part of this Leeds United system going forward. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you did enjoy the video. If you have, drop a big like on it. Really does help me out. Hit subscribe to the channel. And we chat to you all again soon. Mind yourselves. Mind each other.